the reforms in Sri Lanka has been up to now, if you look at maybe the certain reforms that they are trying to engage in CPC and CB, we feel that the reforms and the restructuring means they are trying to break these big entities into small pieces. By making the big entities into small pieces, if you think that you can get into the objectives of what you are planning for, will not come right, because these entities, whether it is owned by the private sector or the public sector, or maybe by both sectors together, PPP, it will not bring the required the results unless you manage these entities properly. So, what you need to do is you need to fix the problems before you break these big entities into pieces, because if you look at this electricity reform, the final draft, which I am in possession of the entire document, it's a very lengthy document. I can remember that even 2 months back that I managed to get the preliminary document, and I made sure that people will know about it. Now, what their main intention is to make sure this huge entity, to my knowledge, I think this is the biggest business in Sri Lanka. And why I say is that CB, according to the tariff revisions, they are supposed to make around 700 billion in turnover, revenue per year.
Okay.
And they do around they collect around 50 billion from the consumers every month. Now, 1 year back, before we increased the tariff for the first time in August 2022 by 75%, although CB asked for 250%, PCSL with so much of deliberation and calculation, we offered only 75%. And they said that was not enough. Then in February, they wanted another almost 75%, but the PUCSL with their calculations and the deliberations, we said under my chairmanship that we can give only up to around 30%. And but the government with the political influences, they ignored that, and without looking at the going by the recommendations of the PUCSL, they illegally increased that by 65%. That means from last August till today, electricity bill has gone up by 300%.